everyone. This is Cecilia and Lynn from the Mummy's Love Nest. As certified mindfulness teachers, we are here to create a safe space for mummies to practice mental care. And today we are going to delve into a question that many pregnant mummies faces, and that is how to deal with anticipatory grief of losing yourself. Because during the pregnancy journey, let's face it, we might start losing parts of ourselves that will send us down a meandering of some challenging emotions. So today we're here to discuss this topic, and Lynn has prepared some questions for us to dive into and discuss. So I'll hand it over to you, Lynn.
Yeah, thank you, Cecilia. So as a pregnant woman and many friends of mine are also pregnant too, we have some common questions with the first one is, can I still relate to my friends who are not pregnant? So in your experience, would you still be able to do so?
In my experience, certainly. I think that we have to be very intentional of still cultivating those friendships. I mean, just because you are pregnant or even after you become a mom, it doesn't mean that you are no longer X type of person. Some parts of you might change, but there's still parts of you that I think you will have very much in common with other friends. So don't write your friends off and just tell yourself, oh, I'm pregnant now. I'm a mom now. I can't relate to those people. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. At the moment, I'm still talking to a friend of mine about dating, another friend about photography, and another friend about food. So in such conversations, the topic of pregnancy is rarely mentioned, but we're still very happy. And I think we're totally we're able to keep in touch with our friends who are not having kids or who are not pregnant.
Yes, and I can definitely relate to that. I have some friends who are, they're my age. I'm in my mid-40s, but they never plan to have children. But I still talk about things with them that I've always talked to them about since I've known them for the past 20 years. That hasn't changed. That hasn't changed the depth of our relationships. And I have friends who are much older, actually, like my mom's age. And although they are moms, but in many ways they're not moms anymore because their children are out of their nest now. So they talk about other aspects of life that I know that I will be approaching. And I so appreciate learning that from them.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. So are you still be able to keep your hobbies as a busy mom?
Am I still able to keep my hobbies? I wouldn't say that I'm able to pursue them as often as I like, but this is where I have to get very mindful about what are my core values, right? And what hobbies align with those core values. So when I look through my days ahead in the week, I'm very intentional about creating time that is just for me, whether that is having some fun or just being by myself, meditating, because actually meditation is my hobby as well. So I guess that counts as a hobby. I get very intentional at looking at these activities that I have in my calendar, and I think, does this reflect who I am at this moment for this week? Not even for this month or for this year. Does this reflect who I am as a person this week? Okay, and I get really intentional about it. And as I go through the choices, I think about how my body feels. Oh, when I look at this activity, oh my goodness, is it making my heart palpitate in a fearful, anxious way? Or is it making my eyes get wide, like, oh, I can't wait till I do this? And, tuning into my body sensations is how I also help myself decide what activities or hobbies to keep on my calendar to pursue, and what hobbies I can say, you know what, not this week.
That's nice. I just want to add that in my experience, I realized that there are changes in the thing that I've liked. So let's say a few years ago, I really enjoyed traveling and hanging out with my friends. But for the last 2 years, I started liking staying at home and practicing mindfulness. So I'm excited and I'm looking forward to different hobbies that I would take up once I become a mom. So talking about hobbies, I think it's reasonable to bring up the next question about spending habits. So, yeah, can you still keep your spending habits?
I'm not a really good person to answer this. I know that I need to be more mindful with my spending habits, because now I have 2 other children that I also need to allocate our disposable income towards, right? And they have their own hobbies and we need to fund that. So I need to be more mindful. Again, this also goes back to first, checking in with my body. How does this activity really make me feel? Is this something that I truly, thoroughly enjoy because I want to do it? Or is it something that when I check in with my body, I'm just like, I don't know, like it's kind of this like meh feeling, and that kind of feeling in my body usually tells me like, yeah, you do it, but you're not going to cry if you discontinue it. Maybe you're just doing it because you're on this autopilot mode of, I'm doing it because this is what I always do every Thursday. I show up for this particular event. But if it's more than like after checking in with my body sensation and I realize that it is so much more than just autopilot, and that I truly, truly enjoy it, and I can feel that it fills my heart and I want to continue doing it, yes, then I will definitely ensure that I set up some money aside for that. But overall, back to your question, do I need to be more mindful about my spending? Definitely. I'm still working on that. I'm still working on that 14 years in of being a parent of 2 children. So it's not
right. Yeah, that's a lifetime learning experience, I think.
Yep.
Right. So I love the part when you mentioned about the importance of being mindful in terms of knowing what's really true to us at that moment, so that we can spend our money wisely. In my experience, when I entered my pregnancy, I had to change some of my spending habits, and that transition really evoked some emotions inside me, namely grief, shame, and worries. So it's a chance for me to practice mindful self-compassion, being aware of all those emotions and being able to embrace them and to befriend them. So for me, it's a valuable experience to once again, to be mindful of what's inside of me at the moment and to know what's important for me.
Yeah, at this moment. But can I also elaborate a little bit about this, what's inside of me at this moment? I think that as a mindfulness teacher, we should also, we also have learned that what is inside of us at this moment may not be permanent. So
that's right.
So what happens with this, knowing that what is inside of me, what I feel right now, this excitement, knowing that it's not a permanent feeling, I think that it also helps me step back and not commit to impulsive spending. Because
That's right.
for example, I love certain types of arts and crafts. I love calligraphy. Well, at least that's what when I see it, I'm like, oh, I love this calligraphy class that Facebook is showing up. Oh, this punch needling art project. Oh, I want to do that too. That's something I've always wanted to do. So all these arts and crafts classes always shows up with my Facebook algorithm. And and when I look at them and I check in on my body sensation, it's telling me at that moment that I'm very excited. My eyes are like, ooh. My heart is like, boom, boom, boom. I want to do this. I want to do this. And my hands are going to, where's the purchase link? Let me click on that. But now having learned mindfulness and really practicing it on a more routine basis, I do become aware of, oh, that's impulsive spending coming. Okay, I take my step back and tell myself, how you feel right now is just how you feel right now. Who's to say that you feel this way next week? So this is when I think it really helps with mindful spending.
That's right. Mindful spending.
I step back and go, okay, I can save this link, put it as click my favorites. I may come back to it. Because if I still have this type of feeling next week or 2 weeks from now, okay, I should look further into this. But what ends up happening is that I would say 80% of the time, I don't go back to that link that I so-called saved under my favorites.
Okay.
Because that feeling obviously was not permanent.
Right. So let's get to the final question that we have here, which is about pursuing our dreams. So can we still be able to pursue our dreams when we have such a huge responsibility of taking care of our kids? What do you think?
Yes, you can still pursue your dreams. To think that your life after having kids, like the life that you know it now prior to having kids, to think that that is over, I think that that's such a gloomy perspective. And that can really send many people into depression, I think. You can still pursue your dreams. What I have found is you can't do everything at once in pursuit of your dreams. I have found that I need to be flexible. I can be grounded in what my dreams are. And that's what mindfulness helps me to do, to ground and anchor me in what my long-term goals are. But mindfulness has also taught me that I need to be flexible in terms of my deadline to achieve that goal. Mindfulness has also taught me that I need to be more flexible in terms of the ways I might need to pursue that dream. Yeah.
That's beautiful when you mentioned about how mindfulness can help to strengthen our flexibility. And I think flexibility is so important, for mommies to take care of their kids and also to follow their dreams. So in my experience, I want to set it as an intention. And I want to do it for the sake of not only myself, but also for my baby. Because growing up, I saw my mom forget her dreams to take care of me. And I know probably she did not have many other choice rather than that at that time. But thankfully, now at my position, I think that I still can do it, taking care of my child and then pursuing my dreams. And for doing so, I don't have to, have my child to live up to my own dream, so that they can have freedom to follow their dream. So I think it's good for both of us.
Yeah, to set that example. And I think doing that intentionally is already a
Mm.
mindfulness practice.
Yeah, lovely. So that's it for our first episode. So I'm so glad that we have it together, and I also hope that this can send some encouragement for other pregnant women,
Mm-hmm.
specifically, and for mommies generally, that to have their own life
Mm-hmm.
while being a mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. We hope all of you enjoyed listening to our first episode. Again, this is Cecilia and Lynn, certified mindfulness teachers, here from the Mummy's Love Nest, a safe space for mummies to practice mental care. So,
Yeah.
hope to see you all next time. Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.